is cuter than a tiny little owl? But a colorful owl summer bag? Forget about it.
Hey everyone, I am Gracie DeZeni, and today we are going to be doing our very first sewing project ever into Dive for History. I am going to be using a sewing machine for this. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can either hand stitch it or you can check out my no-sew pillow video right here. We are going to be making a really cool owl bag. It's really fun, perfect for a slumber party or for going to the beach, but it's really fun, so let's get started. First thing you're gonna do is take some fabric. You're going to wanna find some ones that are all kind of around the same color scheme. We have this template here that looks like this, and this is the shape you're going to wanna cut. You're gonna lay that out, take your scissors, and cut it out. You cut it while it's folded, you get 2 for the cut of 1. Now that we have these, you're going to wanna cut another fabric because we're gonna do a different fabric on the front and a different one on the back. Now you're going to take those 2 pieces and put them pattern to pattern. Repeat this with a bunch of different fabrics and all cut them the same size like this. Now we're going to use the sewing machine. Here are some sewing how-tos. You want to make sure that there is a thread threaded through the needle, otherwise you won't be sewing anything. Place this on the edge just like so. Make sure you put the pedal down. And then you're gonna go slowly. This is not a race. You want your hands like this so they're slowly guiding along. Make sure that your thumb isn't too close to the needle. Then you're slowly gonna curve once you get about 3/4 of the way through. You just curve by taking your fabric and moving that along. And then once you're done, make sure the needle's up, put the pedal up, pull through. There's usually a scissors right at the edge. So there we have it. We have our little wing shape. You're gonna cut those threads, turn it inside out, and you have a little shape like this. Now you're going to want to repeat this over and over again until you have about 30 of these, I would say. After you have all of them done like this, you're going to want to make a pleat. Fold a little bit over just like that, and then sew across the top. And I'm going to just reverse and go over this one more time, just so that it's really sturdy. And now you're going to glue all these on your black canvas bag. I am just going to use this as my base. Tighten the string, then glue them all down. You're going to start at the top and make your way down. And make sure that your second row is hidden underneath the feathers of the first row. Alright, so after they're all glued down, it'll look a little something like this. And it's time to make the owl head. Take a piece of felt and fold it in half. Sketch with a white pencil in the shape of a circle. Now that we have the white chalk line on, we're just going to cut along that. Now it's time to sew. We're just going to sew all along this edge, but we're going to leave the bottom open. Turn that inside out. Now it's time to make the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Take your white felt. I also have this stencil, that's the eye shape, and we're going to fold that in half. I'm just going to pin the stencil on to make sure it stays in place. Cut through both layers. When you have them cut out, they'll look a little something like this, and it's time to sew them together. Cut 1 inch through the center of just one eye. Now we're going to sew these 2 together. Don't worry about changing the thread color for every single thing you sew. Most of the things we're sewing, you're going to be turning inside out, so you won't even see it. When you're done, your eye will look a little something like this, and you're going to repeat the same thing so you have 2 eyeballs. Take another piece of black felt and fold it in half, and then you're going to want to pin that in the center. And now we're going to take our white pencil again and draw an eyelash shape. Cut around the eyelash a little thicker than what you drew. If you cut it too thin, it's going to be really, really hard to sew or glue on. When they're done, they'll look a little something like this. And now it's time to make the nose. So I have a stencil right here, and I'm going to take the felt, fold it in half, pin it, and then cut out the shape. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did with the eye. We're going to cut a 1 inch slit, and then you're going to sew it. Take this template, and it's going to be our eyebrows. And then I have the snake skin type felt that I'm going to use. You can really use any pattern you want or just plain black felt. So we are going to fold this in half. And there we have it. We have our 2 eyebrows. Now you're gonna put the patterns together and sew the edges. So as you can see, I left a little hole right here so that I can pull this through to turn it inside out. You might sometimes need to make the hole a little bit bigger. All right, now we're going to stuff our eyebrow with a little bit of stuffing. Sew that hole we had open. And now it's time to glue all of the parts together. So we're just gonna take our glue gun and just glue everything on. Now that it's all done, it should look a little something like this, and it's time to sew the head to the bag. Pull the bag apart so that it is a nice flat line right here. And then you're gonna take your head, and we're gonna be sewing the top of the head to the very top edge, right before the rope. Now I'm gonna reverse and go back the other way so the head really sticks on. Then we pull the drawstrings, and it's done. I want to see your DIY inspirations, so send me a photo on Pinterest or Instagram with the hashtag #ToDieFor, and I may feature your idea in a future episode. Bye guys!